documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Ronald Show, Ronald
happen, the human race will die.
Oh, really?
The first commandment is to maintain a global population under 500 million. Do you know what that means?
It means 6.5 billion people are going to die at the hands of the Illuminati unless we stop the Iranians from detonating that dirty nuclear bomb at the Hollywood and Vine train station.
The Iranian suicide bomber cell is located at the Vibe Hotel on Hollywood Boulevard.
This isn't Scooby-Doo.
Please!
A little blood drinking turned your stomach?
Guide them to the bomb. What is this, fucking Batman and Robin?
I had become part of something that I no longer felt right about serving.
It's Hollywood and Vine, not Vine Hollywood. Don't you know anything about American culture, you silly Russian?
The global military-industrial complex.
Leading the charge of the carnal feminine.
Ah, yes. The Messiah.
My book. It's the solution.
How is that the way the world is?
Traitor, who are you working for?
If I was cartoon character, I'd be Woody Woodpecker.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From the Gulf Stream waters to the New York Island, this land was made for you and me.
Hello and welcome to the Ronald Show, teaching you to be a creditor in commerce. That is your primary mission in life, to control everything: your life certificate of birth, your manufacturer's statement of origin for your automobile, and the grant deed for your house, so that you control your human vessel, your property, all of your property that you own, your cars, your automobiles, your motorcycles, your jewelry, anything that the global military-industrial complex claims the right to come in and take from you for any reason they wish. Now, according to the laws that they are writing, saying that, oh, hey, here's some more shit that we can do to you just because we're writing it down. So you can put it in writing that you officially say, no, I hold title to my body. You can't just haul me off to jail for some commercial crime that your company is making up. I hold title. Okay, see right here. File that away. And then, no, you can't tow my car. Look, manufacturer's statement of origin. Not even registered. So they can't tow your car. Put that in your file. So you're, do your paperwork. They do their paperwork. They write the law, they post the law. And by you acquiescing, by having no control over your property, your possessions, and your body, then you automatically give in. Anyway, so think about all of that, okay? Rewind this and listen to the words I'm saying. Go to creditorsIncommerce.com. See right there. I'm looking at it on the screen. I got a screen right there. And you guys are there. But I'm looking at me looking at you looking at me. It's a weird dichotomy of our relationship. Because you're there, and I'm there, but I'm here. So, anyway. But it's more than just about the show. The Ronald Show is more than just about freedom. It's about the Ronald Show. All the stuff's going on. And check this out. Look at this email. Dig that. Can you see that? Ta-da-ta. Final booking. 4. So this is the final booking info for Oz, the Great and Powerful, July 30th, 2012 at Sony Studios. See right here, we're going to be at Sony Studios. Pow. Nice, huh? So I'm going to be filming for on the 30th, but it's going to be the 30th, the 31st, the hair, makeup, and wardrobe. Please confirm, blah, 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 Sony lot map and directions. Anyway, so that's going to be cool. I'm going to be playing on Oz the Great and Powerful. And I'm playing a quadling. See, I'll show you. I go in at 6 o'clock. Right there. On Farnham. Can you see that? I'm a 6 a.m. quads. Quads are quadlings. 6 a.m. Neat. So that's going to be probably 6 a.m. So I'm going to be getting up at like 3 a.m. to leave the house by 4 to get to Sony by 6. Because the address for Sony is Sony Studios. Well, here's the lot map. Sony Pictures Entertainment, 10202 West Washington Boulevard, Culver City. So I'm going to be down in Culver City. There's the number. I'm going to be on stage 29, right here, right there. Stage 29. I was like, the lady who was fitting me, she was trying to figure out a hat. She kept looking at me. I'm standing there like in wardrobe at Western Outfitters out on Oxnard. I walk there actually. It's like 3-mile walk. I had to be there last week. I got paid for the fitting. I just cashed the check today to pay my rent. Because this is what I do to pay my rent. So I get there and I'm getting fitted as a quadling. They put on these goofy wool 70s pants and this grayish long sleeve shirt, and then they put that hat on me. And but she didn't like the first hat. So she finally found a hat, but while she was looking for the other hat, I saw this gold top hat. And I go, ooh, that gold top hat looks good. Come look at that. And she goes, oh, did you just join the 701 or the 705? And I looked at her and I didn't say anything. And I thought, oh, she's talking union, the wardrobe union, like 701. So I go, oh, I'll just shut up right now. And she goes, thank you. And I said, you're welcome. Like that. And we laughed. So it was funny. She was cool. And so we did the fitting. So I'm going to be on stage 29 at Sony Studios. So, and I'm going to be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, probably 6 a.m. call times. And here is Oz the Great and Powerful. I don't know if you know about it, but directed by Sam Raimi. I can pull it up on IMDb, but you'll see it. Oz the Great and Powerful. Good. Oh, now, this is important. talking about the Ronald Show teaching you to be a creditor in commerce, which is what the show has evolved into. Because we're not talking about a revolt. We want to just take over control of the situation. And we have the power to do that in numbers. And so I thought, okay, well, we can control our life certificate of birth. By getting your life certificate of birth, you control your human vessel. Because there are 4 controls. I've been talking about your property, your home, land, and your human vessel. But there's one other thing, control over your mind. And so the show idea I came up with based on control of your mind is, well, let's talk to you about meditation. And I wrote, meditation is the key to unplugging and regaining control of your vibration, because your mind is a huge factor in the vibration that you emit. Whatever you put out, you get back to you. So the 4th thing that I want to discuss on the show, teaching you to be a creditor in commerce, is control over your vibration. Controlling your vibration is the key to controlling your reality. When you control your vibration, then you are the one doing the thinking. No one's thinking for you at that point. You're controlling the output. You're controlling the vibration. And in doing so, you control what comes into your life. Now, that control is actually in place all the time. Most people control, you all control what you receive in your life through thought. But most people do it haphazardly, while when you learn to do it deliberately and then have your vibration attract what is good and joyful into your life, joy, then that is when you have learned to create at will and live a joyful life. And if you always keep your emotions toward joy, you control your vibration. And one of the ways to unplug and retune your vibration is to meditate. Meditation can help you reset your vibration, unplug it from external forces that may be causing negative vibrations to be attracted to you through maybe an unintentional negative output that you're being programmed to emit. Also, what you put into your body affects your vibration, because you want to stay healthy by eating right. I was at an event tonight. Kenny G performed. He was staying in the back of this big gymnasium, and we were on a tennis court that they covered with green tarp, and then put up tables, and there was a wine tasting. They built a stage. Kenny G performed live, and really it was an intimate show, like 400 people all outside on a tennis court. It was really cool. It was a fundraiser for the Carson, California Family Center. They had tennis courts, basketball courts, really nice place, really nice gymnasium, and he performed, and the food was awesome. So I ate some food, and that's what my point is I had meat, and I've been staying away from meat primarily now that I've juice fasted and cleansed and stripped my intestines clean. Keeping your intestines clean is one way to keep your vibration totally healthy here in the middle. I mean, this is the center of your body. You want to keep it clean. If you have a gut sticking out like I had, that's just, that's a sick engine. And a lot of people have sick engines. So if you can clean your intestines, it's another step towards purifying your vibration. And you want it, basically purification of your vessel is the key to health and happiness and fruitfulness. So the more pure you can keep your system, your mind, your life, and your body, this area, your stomach, keep your intestines clean, then you will maintain a healthy lifestyle. Because I see a lot of people hooked on food. I would say 90% of the people. Kenny G was like the only one who, 90% of the people there were fat and obese and lean people. Consisted of maybe, I don't know, there was about 500 people total. It was probably a 600-person event, staff and crew and guests and VIPs and Kenny G. Kenny G was very lean, and really cool and really awesome with the crowd. He puts on a show. I mean, honestly, and the music was great and spot on. And he did this one moment to kick off the show. He was in the middle of his first song, and he hit a note, and he held it, and he held it, and he held it for like 7 minutes. One note, one breath. He was doing this cyclical breathing where he could blow while he was breathing. And so that's why he was able to play these long notes, and he held this note for like 6 or 7 minutes, and they were clapping, and he was doing little things with the note, and then he came out of it and stayed on it and hit it again. It was really cool. And then he talked about his breathing technique, and he was like, listen, here, I'm going to put the microphone up by my nose, and while I'm playing, you'll be able to hear me inhale through my nose, and he's going to keep playing. So you could hear him playing while he was inhaling through his nose. He just did it for a few notes, and it was, just an interesting trick. And he only did a few blows of doing that, and he goes, yeah, that's enough of that. I just want you guys to understand that that's how some of that happens, and I can hold that note for so long, because it was like longer than someone holding their breath. So he did that. That was really cool. I mean, try holding your breath for 5-6 minutes, or blowing air out of your mouth consistently for 5 or 6 minutes. So he's inhaling and able to breathe at the same time, like channel the air. I guess it's like because it's got to take in the oxygen through breathing. It has to go into the lungs and come out. So it's like a breathing technique that he's got down. So meditation is the key to unplugging and regaining control of your vibration. And what I recommend here is go to a local Buddhist temple and learn how to meditate. There are Buddhist temples all over the United States, Thai temples. We actually got married in a Thai ceremony also in Plant City at a temple. That's awesome. I'm good friends with the monks, and they're very nice people. And there's always people there bringing food and donating and meditating, and it's a place for purification of the vibration. So if you want to purify your vibration like for free, just show up. It's not even, they're well taken care of. They have a huge, nice facilities at the temples and meditation rooms, and you walk in, you take your shoes off, you bow, and you go Sawadee Krab, and then you stay low and they sit up on a little platform because they're come from a purified. They have like a couple of hundred things that I've read their manual that they must do as a monk, and they adhere to a certain lifestyle, and so their vibration, their energy, their reason for being, and the way they even eat is very spiritually purifying for them. And they are meditative. I met this one monk who moves very slowly, and he taught me just from watching him that it's important to slow down. He moved very slowly, and he did it in a certain way. He kept himself grounded by pulling his robe over a little bit. When he moved, if he moved, he just slowly pulled his robe. Try moving very slowly. See how you feel about that. So controlling your vibration, you learn things from the monks. They'll give you lessons, and they appreciate donations. If you put $5 into their jar, just give them $5 in an envelope and hand it to them. Stay low. And Thai people are very nice, and the food is awesome. Lots of vegetables, some rice, very tasty stuff. I love Thai food. Jasmine, my wife, she cooks me Thai food. We love it. So Anyway, and she's in Florida, I'm in California, and we miss each other. I just got off the phone with her. I told her, I miss you, baby. So that's the Ronald Show. Thanks for watching. Watch this episode again. Think about all those things. Controlling your 4 things. Right? Life certificate of birth. Manufacturer statement of origin for your car. Grant deed for your property. Your vibration. That's the power. Once you control all of those things, then we can all decide if we want to eradicate the monetary system and collapse the global military-industrial complex. I mean, it's a byproduct of it. The collapsing the global military-industrial complex by everyone withdrawing from the government corporations, tearing up your social security card. If everyone on the planet did that, then there'll be no more accounts through which to process. All the companies go away. Therefore, all the bank accounts go away. Therefore, there's no more monetary system. The banks just go away. Those corporations dissolve. Commerce is conducted in a different way. Everything is still there, but it's not a commercial thing. All the goods and services continue to operate. We can take and automate everything as much as possible, and then we don't have to spend our life working for a piece of paper that's been created by a corporate structure. What we really put here, with that being our purpose, to spend all of our day working. The whole vernacular, everyone has to have a job. Says who? Honestly. Human beings will be able to figure out a reason to get up and out of bed every morning. I actually got rid of my bed. I sleep there on that floor. I put a sheet down, pillows. It's comfortable. My back has never felt better. No aches and pains. It's a nice firm surface. Pillows, blanket, on a sheet. It's awesome. And I got the rest of my room to, work in. So, anyway, think about all those things, all right? Thanks for watching The Ronald Show. Teaching you to be a creditor in commerce. Peace.
What if a government intelligence analyst from the Pentagon is forced to save mankind from extinction and the world from destruction, but first he must evolve into the Messiah and create the plan to save the world? The 21st century Messiah arrives, battles dark forces, and sparks the Armageddon that leads to the apocalypse, rapture, the 2012 pole shift, and extraterrestrial contact. Buy the book today by Ronald Farnham at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The Second Coming of the Messiah. Book 1, The Awakening.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Ronald Show, teaching you to be a creditor in commerce. And if you've been reading my books, The Second Coming of the Messiah, How to Write a Screenplay in 30 Days or Less, or Harry Johnson, Diary of a Gigolo Porn Star, you'll see that I weave in important information into each of those books that maybe help you receive a better understanding of what the true history of your planet is, especially with being a creditor in commerce and understanding where we went wrong in this country in 1789 when the federal government gave away the grant deeds to our federal land because of the international bankruptcy or because of the war debt from the Revolutionary War. Anyway, that's one of the reasons we gave away so much property, but I want to read you this right here. Now, today is Monday, 11:42 p.m. I just got, it's Monday, July 30th, 2012. I just got back from Sony Studios where I filmed all day on the movie Oz the Great and Powerful with James Franco and Michelle Williams and the director Sam Raimi, who was mixing it up in the crowd with us, telling us what to do. He was like standing right in front of me, yelling at the crowd, going, okay, listen, I need everybody to back up 3 steps, and what we're going to do is we're going to walk into this scene, and this is when James Franco comes up and he gives the big speech about freedom, taking the land back from the witches. Now, as you know, The Wizard of Oz, and Frank L. Baum wrote The Wizard of Oz, And this movie, Oz the Great and Powerful, is based on his books. Oz means ounces of gold. It's the abbreviation. The straw man. The scarecrow, the straw man in The Wizard of Oz represents you, the vessel, the straw man, in indentured servitude, basically. Not having any brain. When you go into a court of law and you have a lawyer represent you, you're telling that lawyer that you're an imbecile, and the court, or the bank, because the court's really a bank, and the judge is really a banker. So anyway, I was in the scene today with James Franco playing what's called a quadling. We were all dressed in these cool outfits on this huge soundstage, blue screen, and horses. I had to stand next to a horse, and I thought I was going to get kicked, and it was crapping, and it stunk, and I had to keep sweeping up poop. But I'm standing next to this horseman, and I had to do this take where I'm standing there, and we're going, yeah, we're going to take down the witches. And he's like, we're going to get our freedom, we're going to get our land back from the witches. We're going to use our bravery, our faith in one another, and the power of belief, because he says what you believe in is possible. If you have belief, then anything is possible, he says, James Franco says. Okay, so it's about the power of the subconscious mind, what you believe. It's about taking back land from the witches. And Emerald City is over our shoulders in the background as James Franco stands up on a rock. So it was really cool. And we were talking about that on set, the Illuminati. So here's more about the Illuminati. I'm in Yahoo News, and this is President Obama. The headline is President Obama related to country's first enslaved man, by Claudine Zapp. The Lookout. She wrote this 8 hours ago, so this story came out at roughly 3 p.m. Eastern Time, July 30th, 2012. And there's a picture of Barack. I don't know if you can see it. You see that? Let me see if you see that. Yeah. And there's Barack. Okay, so I'll read you the story. All right. Now, a study from Ancestry.com has determined that President Obama is related to John Punch, Punch, the first black African enslaved for life in America, which would make Punch the 11th great-grandfather of Obama. The connection is made through Obama's mother, Stanley Ann Dunham. And then her first name is Stanley, Stanley, middle name Ann, Ann, no E, Dunham, Dunhan, Dunhan. Stanley Ann Dunham is Obama's mother's name. The website's records say, and this is through Ancestry.com, Ancestry.com's records say that Stanley Ann Dunham, Barack Obama's mother, had ancestors who were white landowners in colonial Virginia who descended from an African man, Punch, Punch. His name was John Punch. According to the site's press release, Punch tried to escape indentured servitude in colonial Virginia in 1640 and was punished by becoming enslaved for life. The records show that Punch had children with a white woman, and her status as free was passed on to her offspring. Punch's descendants became successful landowners in the slave-owning state of Virginia. Interesting. This would mean that the first documented slave and the first African-American president have a shared lineage, claim researchers. Said Ancestry.com's genealogist Joseph Shumway, quote, John Punch was more than likely the genesis of legalized slavery in America. But after centuries of suffering, the Civil War, and decades of civil rights efforts, his 11th great-grandson became the leader of the free world and the ultimate realization of the American dream, unquote. And that's by Joseph Shumway, Ancestry.com's genealogist. And the final paragraph of this article says, West Hollywood's genealogists seem to be fascinated with the current president's family tree. The site has also traced an Irish lineage, an Irish branch of Obama's family. And researchers at the New England Historic Genealogical Society, genealogical, so it's Genealogical, genealogical. Researchers at the New England Historic Genealogical Society claim he is the distant cousin of movie star Brad Pitt and 6 past presidents, including George W. Bush. End of article. So, there is a Bush in the White House. I don't know if I'm the first one to say that, but it's July 30th, 2012. And you have a Bush in the White House. Thanks for watching The Ronald Show, teaching you to be a creditor in commerce. Peace.
Have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever wanted to write a screenplay? Have you ever wanted to have your great movie idea turned into a screenplay, turned into a movie, turned into a book, and distributed all over the world? Well, now you can learn how to do it with the great new book by Ronald Farnham, How to Write a Screenplay in 30 Days or Less. It includes the logline, theme, synopsis, outline, and screenplay of the 3 magic questions. Learn how to write a screenplay in 30 days or less, or your money back. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Ronald Show, teaching you to be a creditor in commerce. And I changed the tagline from documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex to teaching you to be a creditor in commerce, because I'm shifting the show toward not what the problem is so much, but what the solution is, which is controlling your assets, your life certificate of birth, your grant deed, your manufacturer's statement of origin, and everything that you think about in your life. But this episode, this segment here is actually about documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. My sister emailed me a blog by a well-respected author and doctor of cancer. His name is Dr. Leonard Coldwell. He's the world's leading authority for cancer cure, stress-related illness, and burned out syndrome, and is the most successful motivational and success trainer of his time. So he has a blog. He sends out an email to people who read about the things that he's writing. And here's something that he posted 18 June 2012. Today is August 7th or 6th. It's either the 6th or the 7th. Today is Monday, 6 August 2012. And this is from 18 June 2012. So, 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago. And the title of the article is this: Fukushima is falling apart. Are you ready? Posted 18 June 2012, 9:14 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time by Christina Consolo. 13 months have passed since the Fukushima reactors exploded, and a U.S. senator finally got off his ass and went to Japan to see what is going on over there. What he saw was horrific. And now he is saying that we are in big trouble. See the letter he sent to U.S. Ambassador to Japan Ichiro Fujisaki, Secretary of the Energy Stephen Chu, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and then NRC's Chairman Gregory Jaczko. But what is so ironic about this is that we have been in the heap of trouble since March 2011. So Here's what he said. March 17th to be exact, when the plume of radioactive materials began bombarding the west coast of California and Oregon and Washington and British Columbia and later Maine, Europe, and everywhere in between, independent researchers, nuke experts, and scientists from oceanography to entomology and everywhere in between have been trying to sound the alarm ever since. The scientists most upset are those who have studied the effects of radiation on health. I'll say it again so it's really clear. We are in big trouble. The most preliminary reports of soil contamination are starting to come in from the USGS, the United States Geological Survey. They have a website, usgs.gov, who has seemed reluctant to share this information. The most preliminary report, I'll read it again, the most preliminary reports of soil contamination are starting to come in from the USGS, who has seemed reluctant to share this information. Los Angeles, California, Portland, Oregon, and Boulder, Colorado so far have the highest radioactive particle contamination out of the entire U.S. That being said, every single city tested across the country showed contamination from Fukushima. What is even more alarming, however, about the numbers coming in is that they are from samples taken April 15th of last year, April 15th, 2011. So those samples are over a year old. The Tokyo Electric Power Company, or TEPCO, has only recently confirmed that there were 3 meltdowns, and they have been ongoing, unabated for 13 months, and no effort has been made to contain them. Technology has to be developed, invented to deal with the meltdown, the melted out corium under the reactors. Until then, they will keep doing what they have been doing, dumping into the ocean. The planet is getting radiated to death. It's pouring out. TEPCO just keeps dumping water on them, after which they let it pour into the ocean and steam up through the ground every second of every day. The jet stream in a highly dynamic portion of our atmosphere called the troposphere has been swirling around massive amounts of radioactive particles and settling them out, mostly in rain over the entire northern hemisphere, especially the west coast of North America from Alaska down to Baja and even further. Iodine, cesium, strontium, plutonium, uranium, and a host of other fission products have been coming directly from Japan to the west coast for 13 months. Maybe you have heard about 6 seals, polar bears, tainted fish, new mutations in dandelions and fruits and vegetables, possibly even animals already in seaweed. In fact, the kelp from Coronel del Mar contained 40 million particles of radioactive iodine, as reported in Scientific American several weeks ago. If you don't know your becquerels, it's a lot. That's what your Pacific fish feed on, and that was only one isotope reported. There were up to 1,600 different isotopes that have been floating around in our air, pouring out of the reactors and steaming out of the ground every second of every day for 13 months, and there has been silence from our mainstream media, for which the depths of depravity are so severe. I will devote an entire article just to the why at a future time. But back to the research. Reports in the past week indicate the pollen in Southern California is radioactive now too, and is flying around, and if you live there and go outside, you're breathing it in, and so are your children. Shit, man, that's exactly where I am. Along with fission products blowing over from Japan, and radiation in your drinking water, and in your rain, and in the fish you are eating, and your vegetables, and the milk supply, and it's happening every second of every day for 13 months. Are you starting to see problem here? Problem is that that's not even the biggest problem. Problem is that that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem is what Senator Wyden is all bent out of shape about. And though independent researchers and nuke experts have been warning about this for a year, and that the reactor number 4 building is on the verge of collapsing. Seismicity standards rate the building at a 0, meaning even a small earthquake could send it into a heap of rubble. and sitting at the top of the building in a pool that is cracked, leaking, and precarious, even without an earthquake, at 1,565 fuel rods, give or take a few, some of them fresh fuel, that was ready to go into the reactors on the morning of March 11th when the earthquake and tsunami hit. If they are MOX fuel containing 6% plutonium, one fuel rod has the potential to kill 2.89 billion people if this pool collapses. As Senator Wyden is now saying too, we would face a mass extinction even from the release of the radiation. We would face a mass extinction even from the release of radiation in those rods. Fuck. This is the atmospheric flooding I was talking about, probably from the bot report, remember? And it's not atmospheric flooding in the way we know. Our whole environment has just been radiated, and it could get worse. So you need to have survival food ready to go right now. Right now. I'm not finished with this yet. That is, if we aren't, we would face a mass extinction. Okay. Here's the worst news. If they are MOX fuel, let me read this again, containing 6% plutonium, one fuel rod has the potential to kill 2.89 billion people. If this pool collapses, as Senator Wyden is now saying too, we would face a mass extinction even from the release of radiation in those rods. That is, if we aren't already in one already. Nuke experts like Arnie Gunderson and Helen Kaldoff are prepared to evacuate their families to the southern hemisphere if that happens. It is that serious. So now you know, if you didn't before, we are in big trouble. Get informed. Start paying attention to this. Every single statement in this article is verifiable, and I will continue to verify and validate the seriousness of this situation at every opportunity I have. This may be the most important thing you ever pay attention to for the sake of your family, friends, your neighbors, everyone you know and meet, all of humanity. It's been 13 months. You have some catching up to do. So I have catching up to do with the editing. I gotta get this information out faster. This is so important. I'm way behind. Well, thanks for watching The Ronald Show, teaching you to be a creditor in commerce and documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to start buying canned food now. I don't want to, but I'm going to be buying bags of nuts, buy bags of almonds now, just all these long-term food you can for storage. Bags of nuts. You can live on a few bags and just get in gallons of water. Bags of nuts and gallons of water, and just keep it, you know, because who knows what's going to happen. So, anyway. Thanks for watching The Ronald Show. Peace. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Ronald Show, teaching you to be a creditor in commerce. Today is Sunday, 19 August 2012, and I have some great news. I have cracked the code on health and fitness, so I'm going to be putting out a new book. It's going to be either my fourth book or my fifth book, depending on my sixth book, depending on the timing of when the books are released. But it's called The Ronald Diet: Sport Eating and Staying Skinny. And the cool thing about this is that you're on a kind of a 2-year track, maybe a 18-month track of where you are now. If you're not happy about your body type, your weight, if you're wearing, if your clothes are tight and you're getting fatter and you don't know why, and you're exercising but you're not losing weight, and you're maybe struggling to lose 2 or 3 pounds, well, I'm putting out the book that is going to be able to give you total control of your body composition. I'm doing it. I'm living it, and it's very simple. It takes willpower, determination, and a resolution, but in the book I tell you how to change your mindset. Your mind may be accidentally sabotaging you without your knowledge. So what I'm doing is in the book I'm teaching you how to not only set a goal, but to create it and eliminate the obstacles, or actually see what you resist persists. And what you're going to do is you're going to lose about 40 pounds. Most people probably walking around right now are obese, morbidly obese. I see everybody now around me. 90% of the people that I see have descended intestines because they're compacted with processed foods and just built up with toxins and waste that they need to eliminate. I mean, if you think you need to lose 20 or 30 pounds, think about this. If you were to stop eating today and just drink water with lemon in it, you would continue to defecate for probably 2 or 3 days. Meaning you have 2 or 3 days worth of stuff built up in your intestines. Well, everybody right now on the planet needs an oil change, or at least in industrialized countries. There are poor countries that can't afford to eat processed foods, and processed foods aren't even there, but that's it's a whole different situation. That has to do with the monetary system, and I know this is teaching you to be a creditor in commerce, but really, I have to also continue to put in the phrase documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex, because the monetary system is still in place. But anyway, back to what I was talking about my book that's going to be coming out, the Ronald Diet, Sport Eating, and Staying Skinny. I'm going to teach you how to change your mindset, clean out your intestines quickly and easily, over probably a 3 to 6 month period to a year. You'll go, if you're 30, 60, 90, 100 pounds overweight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to clean out your intestines and not starve to death. You know, I mean, if you don't mix in the right amount of fatty acids and carbohydrates, then you could accidentally hurt your body. So what I'm going to do is you just start cleaning out your intestines in 3, 5, and 7 day increments of juice fasting. And then once you've totally cleaned out your intestines, then you can begin on a maintenance and weight training program. Set some specific sports goals for yourself. Make it fun. Life is about fun. And the sport eating parts come in where you fluctuate. You know, you're going to drop 20 pounds and then eat whatever you want for a week or 2 weeks, and then you're going to drop another 20 pounds, and then sport eat. I'm going to call it sport eating. I'm going to tell you how to do all that because we love this food that we're addicted to. I love pizza. I love hamburgers. I love spaghetti with meatballs. I love chocolate. I love beer. I love Guinness beer. I love alcohol. I like to get drunk. I like to eat ice cream. I love chocolate ice cream. I like all the stuff that I've been programmed to just love eating. And you love it too. So that's why I decided to write this book. Because I realized that what we resist persists. And if you want to go on some kind of a diet where you have to eliminate all these great foods that are all around you 24/7, you can't live like that. You know, I love going to 7-Eleven and getting their brownies and their cookies at the counter. I love 7-Eleven. It's my favorite restaurant, actually, recently here in 2012, especially in North Hollywood. I've got one on each corner. And, you know, so you want to be able to eat what makes you happy because there's emotion tied to food. I mean, we live for 2 things, food and sex. That's it. It's the purpose. 2 purposes for life. Food for nutrition and pleasure, and sex for pleasure and procreation. We have to have sex to keep the human race alive. So if you want to feel good in your body, you're going to like my book, The Ronald Diet, Sport Eating, and Staying Skinny, available on Amazon.com. It teaches you how to completely cleanse your intestines over a nice period of time without really having to go and feel like you're going to miss all your favorite foods. Believe me, when I was dropping my weight, 20, 40, 60 pounds, I would do it in chunks, 10, 20-pound chunks, because I was cleansing my intestines. And then I would eat whatever I want: burritos, burgers, donuts, chocolate, beer, everything, because I knew I was going to fast again for 5, 7, 10, 20 days, 3 days, and then just drop more weight. And then I would sport eat again. And so I did it like that. So I always knew I was never going to be deprived. I would go periods of time. So if you can deal with these periods of letting your body dump the fat, dump the intestinal buildup, and then treat it like a game, because it's just a game. This whole life that we're living is just a fun playground. So why not have fun with it? Create the new body that you want. Have a vision of what you want, how you see yourself, what's your optimum self. I have a clear vision of me for myself. And I know that if I continue to think about my vision all the time with emotion, then it has to come true into reality. And you can create your own reality by thinking about what you want with strong emotion tied to it. Get into it, feel it, close your eyes. I love public transportation because I can get on the train or the bus for 20, 40, 60 minutes at a time, close my eyes, and visualize for 3, 5, 10 minutes, however long. I just let my imagination go. I think about the things that I want, and I visualize them. And what I'm doing is I'm programming them into my conscious mind. And then when I go to sleep at night, my conscious mind is going to filter that into my subconscious mind. And what it filters it in as is a memory. So I'm creating these memories that are artificial, but they're being programmed into my subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is directly connected to God, basically, or whatever the instrument is that is manifesting reality as we know it. So our subconscious mind filters that into the God program, and the God program puts it into the universal manifestation of reality as you know it, which is right here on planet Earth. So it begins to draw all of the events and things that need to happen and occur for you to live out that reality that you've programmed into the universe. So what you can do is you can basically create the reality that you want by thinking. You close your eyes and visualize as long as you want. That's why I like public transportation. I don't have to drive. I can let somebody else drive. I sit there and I use that as creation time. So my transit, from to and fro, from home to wherever I have to go, I deliberately create with. And remember, the movie The Secret came out and it was kind of ambiguous. And then the book, The Law of Attraction by Jerry and Esther Hicks was released. And you can order that book at esther-hicks.com. They released their books, The Law of Attraction, Ask and It Is Given. Those are the two main books. Law of Attraction describes to you that which is like unto itself is drawn, meaning all things are energy waves, and that everything emits a signal. And then those signals, through the law of attraction, which the law of attraction is that which is like unto itself is drawn. Energy waves are drawn to similar energy waves. So when you think, you emit an energy wave, and it attracts like thoughts. When you act out into the energy of the world, and you retrieve like actions. So think about what you want with positive emotion, or you can think about what you want with negative emotion. Negative emotion is very strong. So if you can pair up a positive outcome with a negative emotion to increase the energy and speed at which it manifests, You can try and do that. I think that's what evil people might be doing, is they have strong evil intentions, and unfortunately they have an evil outcome according to your positive reality. But an evil person, I don't even know if there is such a thing. They're just misprogrammed. But anyway, so think about all that. Get my new book, The Ronald Diet, Sporting and Staying Skinny. Thank you for watching The Ronald Show, teaching you to be a creditor in commerce and documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. I don't think I can let that go away. So I've got to reintroduce that. That's staying. But I'm also teaching you to be a creditor in commerce. All right? All right. All right. Peace. I love you guys.